Hello everyone, welcome to Jolly Molly TV. Today we're going to do another fun block in Kimberbell's Pumpkins and Potions ladder quilt project. In today's video we're going to work on this cute block right up here that's called Stitch and Spell with the black cauldron. This will be fun. So let's go ahead and grab your plastic pouch or plastic bag system that you've labeled Stitch and Spell, and let's head over to the machine and let's get started stitching. Okay, we're at the machine. I have a bobbin with white thread down below. I am using my 8" by 8" hoop for this block, and I've put a piece of the poly no-show mesh stabilizer in the hoop. Let's go to the screen cam and let's load the design. Alright, so I'm going to use my Baby Lock Destiny machine, which is identical to a Brother Dream machine. If you have something similar, you can follow along. I'm going to load the design. I'm going to click on Embroidery. I'm going to go to my flash drive where I keep all my files. I'm going to go to Pumpkins and Potions. And I'm going to go to my quilting designs. And I'm looking for Halloween 8. And I'm looking for the 6 by 6" design. There we go. And that looks good. I'm going to click Set. Brings it in. We don't have to do anything to it. Now I'm going to add the machine embroidery design on top. If your machine can't add, don't worry. You'll stitch this out, clear the memory on your machine, and load the machine embroidery design, and then stitch that out. So I'm going to click Add. Go back to my flash drive, go back to Pumpkins and Potions. Alright, so I'm going to look for the Stitch and Spell block. And it's down here it is. Let's click on that one. That's the one we want. We're going to click Set. It brings it all in, automatically centers it, so we don't have to do anything else to it except click Embroidery. Alright, let's go back to the hoop cam. Okay, so now I need you to get your plastic pouch system or plastic bag system out that you've labeled Stitch and Spell, and pull out all of those fabrics. Then I also need you to get a piece of 7 by 7" pre-cut batting out of your pile. That makes it easier when we have everything organized and we just come and stitch. Alright, I'm going to put the batting aside, and I'm going to put the top 2 fabrics aside, the smaller pieces. Okay, I'm going to look at my background. I've fused the back of my background to help support the cotton with either Kimberbell fusible or Palon 860F or a SF101, whatever you happen to have on hand. And now I need to find a matching thread. Nope, that's going to blend or coordinate with this background fabric that I have. And I think that orange will look nice. So I'm going to put this orange thread in the top of my machine. And the first thing we're going to do is stitch out, move that aside. We're going to stitch out the placement line for the batting. We're going to use this orange thread for several steps. So just like I said, pick one that matches your background fabric. Put that thread up above. And we are ready to stitch out the placement line for the batting. Here we go. Okay, now I want you to place your batting down and make sure you cover all 4 sides of that stitch line. And when you do, put your foot down, use your stylus to hold it down. Just keep your fingers away from that moving needle, and let's tack down the batting. Now you're going to take the hoop off the machine and take this over to a table, and I want you to trim away all of this excess batting from around all 4 sides of that stitch line, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, that's trimmed up. Now leave the same color thread up above, put your foot down, and let's stitch out the placement line for the fabric. Okay, so now I want you to put your fabric down and make sure you've got all 4 sides of that placement line covered. If you have directional fabric, make sure that you have it placed so this is the top, the left side, and this is the bottom. The design is going to stitch out this way, and this will be the top, and this will be the bottom. Okay, so then just feel for the batting. You can kind of guide yourself, kind of make sure you're centered. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to trim a lot of this off. Just use that as a guidance. Okay, let's put the foot down. All right, leave the same color thread you have on top, and let's tack down this fabric. I just want to say a huge thank you to Kimberbell for sponsoring me in this project and for providing the Pumpkins and Potions quilting bundle for me to use in this project. This quilting bundle is amazing. It is definitely something that you can look at in order to enhance this project. It comes with all of these amazing designs. You get a cauldron, you get a spider web, some happy ghosts that look like they have little glasses on. This border is amazing. I cannot wait to show you the borders. And you get this cool pumpkin and ghost and 31 on there. It's just a bunch of fun. So if you're able to get this quilting bundle, it's going to just make your project pop. The borders, I cannot wait. Look at these borders. There's 2 of them, and I'm going to try to incorporate both of them in this project. You get enough files in each of the designs to be able to do any combination of size that you could possibly think of for this project and our other projects. And you also get the block towel sizes for the clear blue towels quilting method as well in each of the designs. So I highly recommend if you can do this. This is amazing. Please use the link in the description below to purchase the bundle from Kimberbell.com. That's going to be a good color on this fabric. Great. Okay, so now we're going to stitch out the quilting. This is my favorite part. It's a 3-minute in real life stitch out. And I'm going to go ahead and choose to quilt the background in the same color orange as my background fabric is, because we're going to be doing a banner that says Stitch and Spell, and then a cauldron and with some stars. So I want that to be the focal point. I don't want the quilting to be competing with that, but I know you'll definitely see it because it's orange on orange, so it's going to come out nicely. But I'm going to make sure my thread blends in. All right, so I'm going to put my foot down and let's stitch this quilting out. It's a 3-minute in real life stitch out. Here we go. All right, that turned out really nice. Love that. Okay, so now I'm going to take the orange thread off the top of my machine, and it's going to want to stitch out the black cauldron next. So guess what color thread we're going to put in our machine? You guessed it, black thread. So go ahead and load that in the top of your machine, and then we'll stitch out the placement line for the cauldron. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to take the hoop off my machine just a little bit so I can see what I'm doing better. And I'm going to line up the black fabric right side up. Let's see, which side do I like better? I think this one. Right side up. I'm going to make sure that I cover the placement line on all sides. And when I've done that, put the hoop back on. Use your stylus to hold it down. Keep your fingers away from the moving needle. Keep black thread up on top. Foot down, and let's tack down the fabric. Okay, now we're going to take the hoop off the machine gently. And I want you to take this over to a table, and I want you to trim away around the outside of the cauldron stitch line and trim away this excess fabric. And if you have a pair of curved scissors, I highly recommend you use something like this because it will help you trim close and not puncture the fabric or the stabilizer down below. I'll meet you right back here. Okay, so that's trimmed up. I'm going to put the hoop back on the machine, and I'm going to swap out my thread because now we're going to work on the banner on the top part. So my banner is going to be white fabric. So guess what color thread I need to put on top? You guessed it. I'm going to put white thread on the top of my machine so that I can do the next several stitches with the white thread. All right, so load thread up at the top of the machine that matches your banner fabric. And we're going to stitch out the placement line for the banner. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to take the hoop gently off the machine, and I'm going to take my white glitter fabric, my favorite, which I'm going to use for my banner, and I'm going to line it up, and I just move it straight on up and cover all aspects of that placement line. Okay, I'm a little close up here. I want to bring that up, make sure I've got all sides covered, which I do. Put the hoop back on the machine. Use your stylus to hold it down. Keep your fingers away from the needle. Foot down, and let's tack down this fabric. Okay, so now I'd like you to take the hoop off the machine, take this whole thing over to a table, and go ahead and trim away with your curved scissors all of the excess fabric from around the outside of that banner stitch line, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, that was a little challenging to trim, but with those curved scissors, it made it much easier to deal with and not worry about hitting the fabric down below. All right, so let's put the hoop back on the machine, and now it wants to do a decorative stitch around this fabric. Kimberbell is using a dark gray in this step because they also have dark gray fabric in the fabric kit. So if you're using the Kimberbell kit, I highly recommend you can use that dark gray. Okay, so I'm doing a kind of a haunted mansion theme. So I'm thinking that my accent could either be a teal or a purple. And now I don't know. Let me take this off and let's test it. The purple is cool. The teal, I'm just going to puddle some of it down here. And I'm going to puddle some of the purple and just kind of see, what do you think is going to go well with this? And I'm thinking the purple. So let's put that away and let's test just the purple. Yeah. I think that would look nice as the accent and the stitch out. Purple, black, and orange. What do you think? I think I'm going to go for it. So you need to pick what color thread you want to be your outline for the banner and the stitch out of the lettering, which will be probably the next step. You can make that a different color if you wanted. But for this step, which is just the outside edge, I'm going to do purple, and then I'm going to see how that looks. And then I'll decide later what color thread I want for my lettering. This is fun. This is where you get to be creative with Kimberbell. You can make this anything you want, any color, any creation. You just make it your own by switching up your color threads, switching up your fabrics, and making it yours. That's just the fun part of machine embroidery. Okay, make sure I don't have a loop, and I'm good. So once you've got that thread up above, let's go ahead and put the foot down and stitch this out. This is a 5-minute in real life stitch out. Here we go. Ooh, yes, I love that purple on that banner. Whew, this is turning out so cool. All right, so now I'm going to take my purple thread out. You take your thread out. We're going to put black thread in the top of our machine because now we're going to do the satin stitch outline around the cauldron. And this is a 4-minute in real life stitch out. So once you've got your black thread up above, thread the needle, no loops, we're all right. Foot down, and let's stitch out the satin stitches. Here we go. That is so pretty. Love satin stitches. Okay, while that was stitching out, I decided I'm going to do black as the word stitch and spell. I think that would give a nice contrast with the purple, tie it into the cauldron, and give it a nice look. The teal would be okay. It would be a little light, and orange would blend in too much with this. So I'm going to do my text in black. Still leave the black bobbin down below if you're going to do the same. Otherwise, pick your color thread of choice for the word stitch and spell, and put that thread in the top of your machine. And then put the foot down, and let's stitch out the text. It says it's only a 1-minute stitch out. Here we go. Okay, so there's some small jump stitches on there, but don't worry, we'll take care of that when we are at the table finishing up this block. All right, so now it's going to do some stars up here. So I'm going to take my black thread that just got sucked up into the machine. I'm going to walk it through because you don't want the thread going back up, you want it to come out. That's what the machine was designed to have the pathway be. And so it'll cause more problems if it comes up the top. But sometimes it sucks it up, and then I just walk it through the machine and pull it out up here if I can, so that I'm not pulling it all the way up. Okay, so now I decided for these stars, I'm going to incorporate some of my teal. Because earlier I told you I'm doing like a Haunted Mansion theme. So I think these stars that Kimberbell has as white would be really cool as the teal. Then I'll put white bubbles in the next step, and then I'll do the gold stars up above with the crystals. So this star stitch out, I'm going to put my teal thread up above. You choose what color you would like this set of stars to be. Put that color thread in the top of your machine. And let's stitch this out. This is a 2-minute in real life stitch out. This is again where you get to make it your own. And if you have a different colorway than what the kit is, gotta loop, get the loop out, then you can change this up to match your colorway. Make it your own. Here we go. That looks really cool. And if you can remember my fabric stash, look at this. That actually blends really nicely with the fabric I'm using for this project. So that's going to be cool. All right, so now the next step is we need to put white thread on top of our machine, because now we're going to stitch the bubbles. Now you can also make your bubbles any color you want. So I'm going to stick with white for my bubbles. You put the color thread you like up on top, and this is only a 1 minute stitch out. We're almost done with the stitching. You got this, okay? So thread our machine. Here we go, foot down and stitched out. Cool. All right, so now I'm going to take the white thread out and I'm going to put gold thread in the top of my machine. I'm going to stick with the gold that Kimberbell has used because it will match the gold crystals that are in the embellishment kit. So I want this to definitely be something where I can utilize those crystals. So gold thread is what's going up on top. Okay, you pick the color thread you would like. Get the loop out and let, oops, but don't unthread the machine like I just did. Okay, thread it again. No loop. All right, we're good. 2 minute stitch out, and you've got this. Here we go. You did it! Look at that. Can I turn it? Yeah, that is so cool. I love the different colors that coordinate with the fabric. I love doing that. And then having the bubbles that have like a 3-dimensional feel to them. Those are cool. You did it! Congratulations. All right. So now let's take the hoop off the machine and let's take this over to the table and I'll show you how to finish up this block. Now we've got 2 things left to do, and the first one, we're going to work on getting rid of these jump stitches. I don't know whether your block has jump stitches like mine does, but if it does, you just take a pair of curved scissors, if you have something similar to this, and you can get right under those jump stitches, literally get them right off there. Okay, these curved scissors are great because they don't puncture down below. You're able to get under that thread fairly easily, snip it, and then snip that little thread out of there. So there's probably, I don't know, I was going to say 6 or 7 of these jump stitches here that I want to take care of so I don't forget about them. The E is a little bit of a challenge because it was from the tip to the middle, and this L will be easy. All right, see any more? I think we're good. All right, so we've got the jump stitches taken care of. Now the last thing we have to do is square up this block, and we're looking to make this block measure 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches. So I want you to take a look at this outer stitch line. That's the tool that we're going to use in order to measure this and see if we can use those lines to square this block up, and I think we're going to be able to. So if you look at this stitch line here and this one here, it is just a hair under 6.5 inches. Then I'm going to go top to bottom. It's also just a hair under 6.5 inches. So that outer stitch line is going to be our tool to square this block up. So I'm going to put the ruler on this outer stitch line right here, and I'm going to go just a hair past it right there. Can I see the stitch line? Yes, I can. It's just under the edge of the ruler, and then I can make my first cut. Okay, that one's easy. Now I'm going to turn this around, line it up with my mat. My mat's at 16, so I'm going to go down to 10.5. I have mine facing the opposite direction, so it's like 24 inches all the way down to 1, because I'm trying to use this side of my mat. I've kind of worn that side of my mat out, so I kind of flip it over, and now I'm using this side. So because of that, if I line my block up on line 16, I have to subtract to get down to 10.5, and that's where I want to line my ruler up now, is on that 10.5 inch line. Make sure I'm lined up over here, and then can I see that stitch line? Yes, I can. It's right underneath the block. Then I can make my cut. That can I see the stitch line is my mental note to tell me where I am and make sure I'm not cutting in the block, because you don't want to ruin that. So if you can see that stitch line just underneath the ruler, then you know you're in the right spot to cut. Because we don't want to have to make these blocks over again. As fun as they were to make, we don't necessarily want to make them again for this project. We can make them again for something else, but we don't want to repeat for this project. Okay, so now I've lined my ruler up with that stitch line. I've also used my line down here because I know these two sides are straight, and then I'm going to go just a hair past the stitch line. Can I see that stitch line? Yes, I can. So I can make my cut. Flip this over. Line it up again on 16. So that means I'm going down to 10.5. Line that up with my mat. Block is straight. Can I see that stitch line? Yes, I can. It's just under that ruler, and I make my cut. And there you go. You did it. You just made the stitch and spell block. Isn't that cute? So I hope you had as much fun today making this block as I did, and I hope you stay tuned here on Jolly Molly TV for more fun and more blocks in Kimberbell's adorable project, Pumpkins and Potions. And until I see you next time, take care. Bye-bye.